Greetings, friends, and brightest blessings. Chloe Valentine here, High Priestess and founder of the Valentinian tradition of sorcery. Excuse me, I just had a burger. So today, I will be talking about something that I have been trying to find a way to explain for a while, right? And I found a video on it. I'm not going to link the video. I'm not going to reference the video, because the video is a video on Gnosticism and how to see archons and, fight them off as a chosen one of God. Like, oh, it's stupidity, I'm sorry. But the method outlined in this video is something I've been using for years, and I've never heard of it. And I've been trying to find a way for 4 years to explain how to do this to people. And it is apparently because I don't do a lot of research. I learned directly from the group of entities that I work with. They, after a initial contact of an accidental on my part, but very intentional on theirs. After that initial contact, it took me 3 days to learn how to do this on demand, right? But they don't use language the way we do. They don't use words the way we do. You might address one of them to question a concept, right? And you won't get words as their response. You'll get ideas. You'll get understanding, but it will come in multiple forms. There will be, and if there are parallels, right? I cannot think of an example, but you might ask something for clarification on something that you did with divination, and you might get an answer, a verbal answer, but the likelihood is very small. But you might get a picture of a snake and maybe, I don't know, a golf club and a school bus, and you have to just that's not a true, that hasn't happened to me particularly, but it's just a silly example, obviously, right? And so what this method that I've found online, just because I've been doing, what I'll do is I'll go to a Wi-Fi, and anything that pops up on my YouTube homepage, I will just sort of bloop, okay, this one, right? And I'll download them all, and I will come back to camp, and as I sit and cook, or sit and write, or sit and draw or paint, I'll listen to them, and so I found this one, and it was chosen one, learn how to right? And I was like, okay, this is some Gnostic bullshit, right? And so, but I'm listening to it, right? Because it's just playing, and I'm just and then the man mentions what's known as the soft gaze method, right? And my ears perk up. Right? What do you mean soft gaze? What is this? It's this is how you can see the demons around you, and you can, if you can see them, then they can't harm you anymore. Dude, come on, get off the gas, first off. But what are you talking about? Right? And so I listened to this, and it's all Gnosticism, but the method that he outlines is what I have been doing for years, trying to figure a way to explain it to people, right? And apparently it goes all the way back to the Upanishads has it, Vedic traditions have this. It's a practice in Shintoism, or Shinto, both of which are very, very prominent in Valentinian sorcery, right? Both of those heavily influenced this practice that I've developed. But it's also in Native American Dine, or Dean, however you would pronounce it. It's in Eskimo traditions. It's in old Mongolian tradition. Any shamanistic culture throughout history has some version of this, that this is what they've taught people how to be shamans, right? And Valentinian tradition of sorcery is very much a tradition of animistic shamanism. Animism means that everything around us is alive, made of spirit, turned to matter, and has a life and a spirit and a name. If fun fact, I just realized what I did there. If you listen to the song "Paint with All the Colors of the Wind" by Pocahontas, that's basically what I'm talking about, right? So, what is this soft gaze method of attunement, right? Which I have like spent the last 24 hours trying to like delete Gnosticism out of this whole thing, and like come up with a script for how to explain this to you guys. And so basically this is it, right? So what you want to do is you want to find a calm, quiet space where you are by yourself, and you want dim light. Not dark, not bright. You want it dim enough to where it's where there's like contrast to shadows, but there's not like darkness around you, right? Like, and then my first encounter happened with music. I can do this without music on demand, but it's so much easier and more pleasant when I use music. And so, but we'll go into that whole situation another time, because that also involves energy work. Like as you're listening to the beat of the music, you are moving your energy in time with it, right? And you try to sync this with like your heart rate. So 192 beats per minute divided by 2 is generally like a heart rate at rest. And so you want to relax. And we'll, like I said, we'll go into all of the details about the music and the energy and stuff another time. This is just so you can observe, right? And interact without the standard practice of like what I do, which is like basically, we'll go into it another time. All right. So the soft gaze method is you stare, basically you sit 5 to 7 feet, maybe 3 if you, I don't know, just however comfortable you feel, from a wall or a flat, unbroken surface, right? If you can do it without like wrinkles, hang a sheet. You don't want the wrinkles on it though, because like they'll influence what you're seeing, really. And so a painted wall works perfectly. And so you sit about 3 to 5, 7 feet away, and you focus on one point on the wall, directly ahead of you, whatever feels comfortable for like how you're, positioned, your neck or whatever, right? And then you relax your gaze, right? You focus on a point, and then relax your gaze. So that you are now not looking at the wall, you are now staring into the distance past the wall. This seems counterintuitive, but with a little bit of practice, and I mean, like, when I say a little bit of practice, I mean 5 to 7 minutes a day for 7 days, you will be able to do this on demand with no trouble at all. And so you relax your gaze and you focus on nothing. You just stare into the distance beyond the wall, and you pay attention not to anything in front of you. You pay attention to your peripheral vision, right? Because as you stare off into this empty void space, the entities that are, I don't even know how to explain that part, but things will notice, and they'll kind of sort of peek at you. And so you'll see, you might say, look, if I had one student who literally saw like a full figure just standing there, that's super creepy. But generally what you'll see is you'll see a face or a figure or a motion, and your instant reaction will be to look at it, because that's what your brain tells you to do for survival purposes, right? Like if something moves, you look to make sure that it's not dangerous to you. This is an animal instinct. You'll notice cats do this. If you throw something, a cat... And so it's an animal instinct, and what you have to do is learn to bypass that. You notice the motion off to the side, and you continue to just stare off into the distance, but you acknowledge it mentally. I always say the same thing that I say in the videos. I say, "Greetings, friend, brightest blessings." And usually they will visibly react, and that's how you know. That's how you know that you're not really just imagining this, right? Now, please understand that this is a practice that I am not the first person to do this, but I did learn it independent of any research. I learned this from spiritual entities, right? And then I am only now, 4 years later, discovering that this is a practice that has been passed down in every shamanistic culture in human history. That's insane to me. It's insane to me. And every time I teach somebody this, I always get the exact same reaction. Why don't more people know about this? It's like, I don't know. I figured I made it up, right? But apparently it's been around for a while, and apparently a lot of people do know about it. But more people need to. And that's why I'm doing this stuff. So you stare at this wall, you stare past the wall, you notice the things in your periphery without focusing on them, and you greet them. You greet them in goodwill, right? Your intention matters here. Your intention matters here. Because your intention is energetic. Your intention and your attention are energetic, and they are both the same thing. One is internal, the other is external, but they are the same energy. When you pay attention to something, you are giving it a part of your intent. You are intending to focus on it. And so what you do is I'll go into subvocalization another time, but you subvocalize, right? Which is doing all of the psychological processes of talking without using your voice, vocal cords, and lungs. You just think and will your message to wherever, you communicate without using your mouth is really what you do. And I'll figure another way to describe that another time, but you greet the entity, and you usually, I'll tell you, after 4 years of practice, when I meet a new entity, I will, greetings friend and brightest blessings, and then I'll stick my tongue out at them and smile, and I usually get an outraged look for a moment, and then they smile and they stick their tongue back out at me. And it's just a thing I've developed. My friends, we have we play games with this. We do hand gestures as I'm, we make silly faces at each other, and then we talk, right? But that's our personal practice. That's mine and the Sankenshin. That's our personal practice, right? What you're learning to do is notice these entities, because noticing them is the first step to interacting with them. And so once you've noticed, once you've sent your message, and you've done this for about 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, as long as you feel comfortable doing it, right? You back away. You just, okay, thank you guys for the lesson, and I will do this again tomorrow. And you do it for 7 days, and then you can basically do it on demand whenever you want. So we're at 14:49. I love you guys very much. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please hit like and subscribe. I hope you have a beautiful day, and brightest blessings.